Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Yes, it is another beautiful, spectacular, gorgeous, sexy Sunday afternoon. Yes, you know what time it is. It is indeed 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. It is time for the Cafe Gracia experience. One of the best podcasts I've heard, but that's just probably me saying whatever it is. But point is, we are back with another podcast session, this time with another incredible, fantastic guest. And you know how I like to start these things, so esteemed guest of this week, the floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Sandy, but some people call me Yuna. I practice voice acting occasionally, and yeah.
Yeah, that's it. All right, fine. Nothing
Sorry.
else. No, it's fine. Voice acting. I want to. First of all, how are you doing today? Just to ask real quick, like how are you doing? How are you doing this fine day? And one of the go.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm okay. Nothing special. I've got a lot of work, but I'm trying to take more breaks. So this is what this is. How are you?
I'm good. Just nice to take a semester break from college. I'm just glad to finally grind, do more videos like I did during the week. So it's amazing. I'm just glad. So,
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, but it really sucks that you're not in the GOAT, time zone, which is Eastern Standard.
Oh, good time zone.
The good time zone. I don't understand why you're like in the bad Pacific time zone.
Down bad?
Down
I
bad.
wouldn't say, oh yeah, it's pretty down bad, but what can I say? I live in Southern California. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate, damn. Yeah, but I mean, well, I live in Florida, so I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Many of my friends live in Florida. In fact, I think I visited them last year for like Christmas. It was so fun. Did not see any gators though. I did see manatees.
Well, I mean, it depends on where you're from, because Central Florida is where you see all the gators. Northern Florida, like the Panhandle area, not so much. And then South Florida is, well, it's metropolitan. So that's basically...
Oh, yeah.
That's basically how... Like, if you want to divide Florida into three parts, you have North Florida, which is kind of like... How should I put it? Kind of like Texas, kind of like Georgia, like that type of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Central Florida, which is basically where all the Florida men live, and that's where we get the memes and the gators and all that kind of jazz. That's where the memes come from. And a few good friends that live down there and in college there as well, but whatever. Then we also have Disney. That's where people know it as. It's either Gators or Disney. That's Central Florida. And then South Florida is basically you somehow ended up being in either Boston or New York. Especially in Miami. Like that's like the further south you go, the more north you feel. That's basically what Florida is in a nutshell.
Yeah. I get that. I think my time in Florida was pretty nice. We did go to the Disney area, but most of the time we just stayed up by like an hour or so away from Jacksonville.
No, you gotta come down south. South is where it's at. South is where everything's like, that's where the real fun is. It's nice. The city life is nice and all, but it has its disadvantages. That's why people like visiting Florida, mainly for Orlando and things like that, but whatever. Anyway, yeah. I explained my side of the country. Now explain yours, Sandy, because I've never been to California.
California's okay. It's really nice, but like if you live in one of those touristy areas like I do, the price is very high for things that maybe shouldn't be that high. The beaches here are great.
Nah, ours are
LA is only like, yeah. Okay, debatable.
Okay,
but I didn't go to the beach in Florida, so I can't compare.
Okay, fair.
Mhm. Disneyland's nearby. That's pretty fun. But, I think I went there for like my senior year of high school, and then when I was younger, I lived closer to Disneyland, and they would send out these like I think there was like discount tickets or something, or like discounts to buy tickets for the neighbors around Disneyland, which was fun because that meant that I went every month and it was great.
See,
Um,
that's awesome. Because
yeah.
in the college campuses around Central Florida, they basically get discounts as well to go to Universal, to Disney and things like that. I'm like, God damn, man, I want to go there now. I have a friend of mine that's scared. I'm like, can I go with you? Can you like stuff me in the back and we just be like, yeah, I'm a part of this college.
Let's just sneak in.
Yeah, sneak in. But no, yeah, Disney World's obviously better. Like everybody goes to Disney World at Disneyland,
huge.
and I think it's I think it's cheaper too. I don't know.
Oh, is it? I heard that they were going to raise the price.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true because Disneyland has a lot more to Disney World. I mean, has a lot more to offer than Disneyland. Because I think Disneyland is basically what is Magic Kingdom to us, and we have a whole lot of other stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to jack up the price this year for like pandemic reasons.
Yeah, I figured.
But my time there was pretty good. I actually went to Epcot, that area. The food was amazing. I think I got free fries because the person in front of us got extra, and they were kind enough to like turn around and be like, "Hey, yeah, you want these?"
Oh,
Yes,
that's nice.
I will never say no to free food. Thank you.
I mean, no, that's in everybody's inherent nature. Anything that's free, we'll be like, yeah, we'll take it. Is it of any worth to me? No, but I'll take it. It's free. I'll take 10. Sir? Excuse me, sir? Ma'am?
This is just one. It's
like, but so basically speaking, to kind of like end this conversation, my side of the world of the country is better. It's just a fact. We've proven it. It's been proven.
Listen.
It is what it
is.
So.
Listen, you do have Florida men, so honestly, that brings you down a couple points. If I read a news title and says Florida man in the first like 3 words, some shit's gonna be fucked up there.
Only in Central Florida. South Florida, we're independent from the rest of Florida. That's like the joke that we have, that South Florida is like its own state. So technically speaking, we have 51 states. It's South Florida, North Florida, and then all the other 49 states that are there. That's what it is,
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. If you do so want to isolate yourself from the Florida men roaming the northern parts.
I'm just saying, like in South Florida, there's barely any Florida men. We're domesticated.
Barely.
we're very tame.
Domesticated.
I don't domesticate it. Make it sound. No, I mean, but whatever. But
That's good.
I will say though that we have a lot on our sleeves because we got E3 coming in. I don't know if you've been seeing everything that's been going on. I don't know if like E3. Yeah, E3 is coming in June. So we got a lot of good stuff coming. We have a lot of good games possibly being announced. We got a lot of stuff, that we hope we get. So I'm very excited. Especially on Nintendo's front. I don't know. I don't know. Like, what do you have to say about E3? Like, what do you got, Sandy? Like, come on, hit us with what you think, if you know anything. I don't know. Can
I be honest?
Yes.
This is the first time I've heard of E3.
Are you joking?
Listen, I have been living under a rock. I'm sorry.
Hold up.
It's true.
You're a VA. You're a voice actress.
Listen,
but
yeah, you're right. I am a voice actress, but I'm also a full-time college student, and I've had 2 jobs.
So am I. There's no real excuses. Okay, fine. I'll give you some leeway. Because you do have 2 jobs, so it's fair.
We lose some, and then we lose some more. It's unfortunately the way that this world functions.
In this case, Sandy, you made me lose.
You live in the shitty time zone. Hefty psychic damage.
Yeah, you made me lose some very hefty and very important brain cells. Like, great, thanks. Thanks, Sandy. Wow.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, E3.
I'm sorry.
E3 is basically where we have a lot of Nintendo Directs, a lot of video game announcements and things like that for what we already know, what we might know, and things like that. So that's basically what E3 is. Like for example, like you saw the ace. I'm sure you, because you basically were like you were kind of nervous. And you were just like out of nowhere, like, oh, let's talk about Ace Attorney. I'm like, well, I got a video ready for that already. The video should be already uploaded and things like that.
Good. That's good.
Like, yeah, so basically, like,
you know why?
What? Why?
Is because I also have never played Ace Attorney. So I was anxious if you're gonna ask me about Ace Attorney, because I've never played Ace Attorney.
All right, now I gotta start asking questions. All right, what have you played? Sam, what have you played?
Listen, I've played not Ace Attorney. Okay, currently, I just got this game. It's a really cute game. It's a really cute game on Steam, and it's called Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. And that's what I've been playing.
Anything else?
Okay, let's look at my Steam list right now, okay?
What about
Let's
Nier?
take a look.
Do you know about Nier?
Okay, listen.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Have I played it? No. Have I watched Let's Plays of Nier? Yes.
Pokemon.
I play Stardew. Yes.
Okay.
Pokemon, a classic, could never not play. I've played Genshin, Stardew, the usual. Battle Block Theater, I played a bit. Monster Prom, yeah. I do have I got it a while ago. Have not. It's sitting in my Steam library right now. Have not downloaded it yet. I played. That's the Walking Dead series.
So
that one.
Okay.
Yes, I believe so. I did watch a Let's Play on that one too, and I like that one. I have Final Fantasy on here. I played a little bit of it.
Which one?
This XIV Online. I only played it because my friend wanted to play it with me, and I was like, okay.
Wait, you mean 14?
Yes!
Wait,
listen, I have a weakness in Roman numerals.
Hold on.
Weakness in Roman numerals.
I was like, XIV. Wait, hold on.
Please.
I can't wait to clip this and put it on Twitter.
No.
Like, alright, Sad, thanks for telling us about Final Fantasy XIV Online. I can't wait to see everybody else's reaction.
Please. I have a reputation to uphold. I'm gonna be clowned so hard.
Sad, there is no such thing as reputation when you're with me. That thing goes down the drain. You are in the realm.
Dear God.
Of, like, trust me, like the memes, the craziness, it just happens out of nowhere when you're with me. Like that's just the reality of the situation. So yeah, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Final Fantasy XIV, one of the goats of yeah.
Wow.
All right, so
that's so unfortunate.
A fair deal of games, I guess, things like that,
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. Listen, I don't get to play often, so.
Yeah, I mean, what about Xenoblade? All right, there's the answer.
No.
That was easy.
No, I mean I've heard of it. Have not gotten to playing it. It's like that thing where you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this anime. Let me just add it to my anime list real quick, and then you never touch it.
Yeah, so you backlog.
That's what this is.
You got a backlog.
Yes.
Yep.
I've got a lot of backlogs.
Yeah, you do. You really do. But that's okay. Anyway, definitely check out Ace Attorney, especially the trilogy. I think it's definitely on the Switch and on the PS4. So you got no excuses there, Sandy.
What if I don't have a PS4?
Well, you have a Switch?
Yes, I do. It's on Switch.
So yeah,
if it's on Switch, I'm fine.
The same thing will be with the new games that are coming up. Well, technically speaking, they're not new. They are just finally being localized to the West, because the reason why those games are now being ported now instead of during the 3DS era, because these games were initially released in 2015, around 2015, 2016, so around that time. One of the main reasons why they weren't able to localize it was because they had Sherlock Holmes in the game, and so they not only had to switch the name from Sherlock Holmes to Herlock Sholmes
Sholmes.
Which is
Yeah,
also
I heard about that.
which also became another copyright issue because the person that wrote Arsène Lupin, he basically copyrighted Herlock Sholmes, so they had to wait for a while for that to finally be in the public domain, and that's why Persona 5 was released around the time that it was released, because that would also have copyright issues as well, because it was also using those type of stuff. So after all that finally became a part of the public domain, Capcom was able to finally localize it and give it to us now. So that's basically.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it is.
I've seen it. It looks fun. I've heard so many things about Herlock Sholmes. I've heard that he is a himbo and that people are simping on him over Twitter. I think I saw him trending a few times.
Well, I mean, have you not seen him? This is like
I have.
Sherlock. Yeah, that is Sherlock Holmes. That is anime Sherlock Holmes. You know, like that's just the reality situation here. That is who he is. That is Sherlock Holmes. That is, you know. But yeah, so definitely play that. In terms of Final Fantasy, you gotta play more than just Final Fantasy XIV, Sandy.
Okay.
You gotta play more than just 13. You know.
Yeah. I'll get to it. I will. I've got it all here on my little backlog that's currently pulled up. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, that was my dog.
Doggy.
Go outside. Your puppy.
Just kick him outside. He's like, be gone. Bye. Shoot.
She's sprinting. Mad sprinting. Alright.
Alright. Yeah, definitely check out Final Fantasy. Because you got a huge array of good games there. There's no bad game in Final Fantasy, and if they say that it's a bad game, realistically speaking, it is because if someone were to say that a certain game was bad, a Final Fantasy game was bad, is because they just want to grind people's gears. So so any Final Fantasy, it doesn't really matter because they're not all connected. It's the same thing with Persona, you know. So there's that, and
that makes sense.
Yeah, because imagine trying to One Piece it, where it's like 14 games is the same character and all that. Yeah, it's, you know, and it's not like a platformer. It's not like Sonic. It's not like Mario, where they could just keep milking those guys dry.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, it's an RPG, and so it's like trying to have the same character over and over again. It's like, ooh, no.
So each game has its own different storyline with its different collection of characters, but they somehow link up at the end, right?
No, it's their own separate universes. No, Final Fantasy as a whole is just their own separate games, their own separate timelines, and their own separate universes. So you can legit just play one game and then, you know, not have to play another one, because it's not like, unless it's like, for example, like Final Fantasy 13, then you gotta play 13-2 and then 13 Lightning Returns, because that's called the 13 trilogy. So it's like, it's Final Fantasy 13 but broken into 3 parts. So something like that, you would have to play. Or like Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2. It's like an expansion to the first of that series, and that ties into everything. So that's kind of what that is. But everything else, like Final Fantasy 15, you can play that no problem. Anything else, like, you know, that's just what Final Fantasy is. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I wonder how many. Well, there's probably a lot of them, huh? Let's see.
There are a lot. Right now we're waiting for 16 and news on that, as well as like obviously more news. Not news, but more gameplay trailer on Neo: The World Ends With You, because that's also another hot topic. And I'm very excited to play that one as well. So there's also that one to look forward to.
What's the plot for that one? What's it called?
The World Ends With Neo: The World Ends With You is a sequel to The World Ends With You, and since you guys said you gotta play games.
Listen! I am a busy woman. I will play them. Ooh, I like the art style.
Yeah, the art style is GOAT. It's from the same person that did also the Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. So there's also that, and There's like a lot. Like E3 is just it's just gonna be one of those interesting things because there's a lot that many of us want. Like for example, like I want my Bayonetta 3, I want my Metroid Prime 4, I want all that stuff. That has barely been announced. That is like nobody knows exactly what exactly those are all about, and there's like a bunch of other stuff too. Like that's just what makes it incredible. There's a bunch of stuff.
Man, I wish I got into these when I was younger. You know, maybe it'll be easier for me to get into now, but I mean, it's never too late.
No, it's never too late. I'm playing Xenoblade now, and there's Persona 5 Strikers, there's a whole bunch of other games that people are playing now, and I'm like, time for me to play a 2019 game. It's like, damn. But I love Xenoblade. That's also another game you should definitely, when you have time, because that's a game that you need time, because it's also an RPG game, and it's also like it's a really good game. It's basically what I'm saying. Like it is a really good game.
A lot of these games that you're talking about seem to have a reputation for being really, really good games.
Because they are. They legit are good games. Like you should definitely give.
Oh yeah, yeah. I will.
Yeah. So
eventually.
Yeah, I do want to ask, because why voice acting? I always want, because like
why?
Yeah, why voice acting? Like what?
It started when I was younger. Let's say like maybe under 10, where I considered it, but then I sort of shunted it out into the back of my mind because I'm a shy person. Even as a kid, I was ridiculously shy. So I thought acting in general, that's definitely not for me, right? And then you make through middle school, high school, trying to pursue these other interests and stuff. But nothing really stuck until like a friend of mine posted on her story like a few years ago that she was looking for singers for a dub of sorts, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, like, I don't have to record myself like for the camera. I could do it with like a mic or something, and that seemed fine for me, and that's how it started. And I just kept continuing, mostly because I really adored bringing characters to life. Like, that was fun for me, you know? But I hated being on camera, so that compromise was voice acting, which is great because I love voice acting and I love the games that they're in, and like the animation shows that they're in and the movies that they're in. Like sometimes if I feel like I am losing interest in voice acting or something, I like take a break and then I'll watch a movie or like a show, and it will instantly revitalize me. So like one of the movies that I did watch when I was in this slump was Spider-Verse, and that movie hit me so hard, I sat in my car and cried for 30 minutes. Oh. It was great. It was great. And I watched it in empty theaters. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, man, this is what I want to voice act for. Yeah.
I love I love the idea of voice acting, something I would never do, but I've always wanted to try it out and just have fun with it. Because obviously, like,
you should.
Yeah, like, because especially with YouTube and stuff, like voice acting could really help, because it helps to add more character and variety and a sense of personality, especially when you do skits. Because like in all of my videos, I always like to start with a skit of sort, like a bit. That way, like, people are a little relaxed and they have like a laugh, and they'd be like, oh, okay, I wonder, like. And then obviously I talk about whatever the topic it is that I want to talk about. And obviously, like, in terms of like anime and stuff, like, there are so many good voice actors I like, both sub and dub, that, they are the character that they play. Like, for example, Lelouch from Code Geass, like, I immediately think of Johnny. Like, Johnny Youngbush is Lelouch. Like, that's who he is. Like, sure, to some he's Nero from DMC4, but to me it's like he made Lelouch who he is, and that's why I like voice acting, and I like the idea of it, because it's like you said, like, you can bring so many characters to life with just a voice, especially in like animes and things like that, where it's like that voice will be who that character is. Like you may have read like
Mm-hmm.
a certain manga panel, you may have thought of a certain voice that he might have had, but then when you listen to it in the anime, you're like, oh, okay, I see the direction they're going with it. This is what they wanted for the character. Like, this is probably what this character was actually being sounded. You know, his voice, their voices, and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. And I appreciate the fact that, when you like dub things or like you like voice these characters, you also have this opportunity to put like a little touch of yourself in it. Like you have some sort of creative freedom to like go, like adding your creative touch to it where like you have a sort of liberty with how you want to portray this character. And I've seen it a few times where like things aren't exactly scripted, but it's a suggestion a voice actor had that was integrated into the character that they were voicing. And that just makes it so much more lively, and so much more unique.
Right. It's not like, especially if you compare like I keep saying like a lot.
That's okay.
Yeah. The Resident Evil, the first early games like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, like their voice acting, I don't know if you've heard them. Like the voice acting of the first 3 Resident Evil games, compared to like the voice acting of the games and now, it's like 2 entirely different beasts because of the direction they were pulling off. Like after this podcast is done, like definitely check out, or at least like check it out now, the voice direction they had, because it was so stoic, it was so bland. Like it was funny voice acting, but like because it was so bad. And then compare that to like what we have now with like the remakes and things like they really improved a lot. So that's also another thing that I like about voice acting, because it's like I feel like it's something that we need a lot more now because of like how much of like the entertainment and things like that is like booming, whether it's games, animes, and things like that. Like voice acting is basically, it's just like you have so much liberty with voice acting compared to anything else. Because acting, like, you not only have to be in front of a camera, but you have to do some certain, you have to appear a certain way, and you have to like there's just so many like factors that you lose the creativity of it. And then when you want to put an input, your own input to those things, they either like neglect it, or they're like, oh yeah, we'll take it into consideration, but they just don't do it. And so, but with voice acting, it's like it's all your voice. Like you can legit create a character by doing like a voice that I'm saying, like my normal voice now, and then all of a sudden you just tweak it up by a few and then you just create an entirely new different character. So that's what I like a lot about voice acting as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's one of the more better parts of the industry.
Yeah, for sure. And man, Spider-Verse, I can't believe that's like 3 years ago now, almost.
Right.
Late 2018.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I can't believe it, because I remember there was Spider-Man PS4, and there was also Spider-Verse around that time. Like that's how I remember the timeline of it, because I enjoyed Spider-Man PS4 when it came out. That was my very first platinum.
Were amazing.
It was an incredible experience. It's especially because Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time. He will always be my favorite hero of all time because he's just so lovable. He's lovable and relatable at the same time, and that's what makes him like everybody's favorite. Like he's not Iron Man. He's not Iron Man where he's like rich and he can build like a bunch of like suits and things like that. He's not like Captain America. He's just a regular dude who got his powers as a teenager, and then over the years he had to learn how to handle those powers, and it teaches you a lot of like responsibility and things like that. And that's why I love him. Just love.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you're the first person I met who like is really into Spider-Man. The only other person I know who's like super into MCU or like anything like that is my friend Pickle, and she's super into Bucky Barnes right now.
Yeah, I figured.
She's really into Bucky
Falcon
Barnes.
and the Winter Soldier really solidified a lot of people's love for Bucky Barnes and also the new Captain America and things like that. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, you haven't watched it. I knew. I finished your sentence.
I was going to. Hang on, hold up. Listen, okay, I watched the first episode and a few episodes in between, but I was going to sit down and binge watch it one day once my finals are over. Because it is interesting. And I do like Bucky.
Yeah, well, they're over, I assume.
No, not yet. Yeah, soon. In a month, but that's so stressful. So stressful. Oh my goodness.
Damn. Yeah, you'll be fine. What are you majoring in?
Oh, good question. Good question. I did recently, I'm not really committed to anything right now, but I did apply to some schools for biology, and I did apply to one other school for audio engineering. But I'm kind of stuck between going to that audio engineering school or sticking to find some other better audio engineering schools, because the reputation of that one school is not very good.
Honestly, just do what you think is right.
Yeah.
That's
difficult though. That's so difficult.
I mean, not
very open-ended.
Not really, because the options to do. I don't know how to put it, because I'm majoring in history because I plan to be a lawyer. And either a lawyer or a history teacher or both. Honestly, I'd rather do both. I can do both. I will do both.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, also I just plan. There's also YouTube, but I plan to do it part-time for now because it's fun. Honestly, it's a fun thing to do. Just making content and just having something fun and worthwhile to do in the meantime as I'm in college. And if it makes money for me, then it makes money. That means I don't have to pay anything. Like, I mean, obviously I do have to pay for it, right? But that means I don't have to pay any debts and whatever for college.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I can respect that.
Yeah. And there's just a bunch of stuff, but just do what you voice crack. Just do what you think is right. Honestly, like that's it.
Yeah, I've gotten that advice from like a lot of other older college students who've been through it too. But it's just like this infinite feeling of being lost, Like,
I mean, you're my age, so
right. It's just like having expected to know what you want to do for the rest of your life, and it feels like you've only gotten out of being a teenager,
Yeah, I feel you, because it's like, that's why a lot of people like taking gap years before going into college. Like, they want to experience something for themselves rather than being dictated on what they should do. So that's why a lot of people recommend taking a gap year before going to college. But honestly, it just depends on the person. For me, I was lucky. Yeah. I was lucky enough to be, like, I understood my position, and I still understand my position, and I can do a hell of a lot better. And I'm just going with the flow of it. Obviously, it's all organized, it's all structured, but I know what I want, and I'm going through that. Like, I'm gonna get it no matter what. In a legal sense, in an appropriate sense. So
in a legal and appropriate sense.
Yeah.
That's good. Going with the flow.
Yeah, going with the flow.
Man.
But it's funny that I had to learn that through watching One Piece. That's what makes it. Yeah, I learned all of this feeling, this emotion of just have fun. Just have fun. Just forget about the destination. Just focus on the journey. And that's where, by the time you reach the destination, you'll look back on the journey. You'll be like, I'm so glad I make it. I made it, and I'm so glad I did all of this to make it, because it's very different than just being like an instant celebrity, and then you look back and it's like there's no foundation, there's nothing, there wasn't anything for me to look back. All I did was just one thing, and then all of a sudden it just blew up. So I start my foundation on this. Technically speaking, I started on what I wanted in the first place. And I feel like that loses a lot of the incentive when we get like, you know, those people that don't deserve. I mean, I'm not saying they don't deserve it. They rightfully deserve it. But that they don't appreciate the fact that they have those tools and those resources compared to someone who's working hard to get that. You know?
Yeah.
And that's like my biggest, like, for someone that's a small YouTube creator, I look at like those people that blew up, like Dream, whoever that other Minecraft YouTuber is, and all those people that just suddenly showed up, probably with no effort, and they just blew up. And I'm like, these guys are gonna be forgettable. I'm sorry to say this, but they're not Kid Icarus, they're not Ant Dude, they're not Some Call Me Johnny, they're not Susie the Sphere Hunter, they're not Game Grumps, they're not a whole bunch of, they're not Alpharad. They're not gonna be memorable in a year from now. Like, do you still remember Logan Paul?
Oh, not from Good Things. Not from Good Things.
Right, but you remember that he had a YouTube career, right? Before Vine, like after Vine.
Yeah.
I honestly
wasn't
like, it was bad, but he
he was bad.
Like,
and like I haven't thought about him in like months.
Exactly.
Until just now. Until you're like, oh yeah, you remember him? Oh yeah, he was that guy.
Exactly, like you forgot, because there's no proper foundation. Yeah, they started somewhere else, but so that's like why I say like these things, because like I'm very straightforward with it. It's like, I know what I want, I'm gonna get it, but at the same time, I should just have fun with it. And One Piece legit taught me that, because look, One Piece is a very, very long anime. Like, that's a fact. That is a straightforward fact.
Oh yeah, definitely.
One Piece is a big boy. And I love it. I love the
very
story.
Long. Has it ended yet? Or is it still going? No, it's still going? Okay.
It's still going. It is still going. Sandy, my dear, it is
good
still
Lord.
going. It is.
Good Lord.
It is.
You know, I once knew friend of a friend. Oh, that is the garbage truck outside. Friend of a friend. He decided, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna watch One Piece. He watches it in the English dub. Says that he loves it so much, he's gonna watch it in the other dubs. And I'm just like, are you serious? I feel like that is more than 1,000 episodes. 1,000 episods that you were watching.
It is
of just different dubs.
In terms of chapters, it is currently going to be in its 1,012th chapter. 1,012 chapters, we're about 70, and it's about 70% done. So 30% more is left of the story. Of 20 years.
30%?
30% is left.
20 years. Man.
Yeah, it is an incredible journey. I definitely recommend watching One Piece. It is indeed an incredible journey, and you may not see it, but I'm tearing up because One Piece is legit one of the many things I enjoy a lot, and has taught me a lot. One Piece legit taught me a lot, especially during a time where it's like after high school and then going into college. You know, like I never took a gap year, like I said, like most of my friends did. I stayed home and I did my thing, but One Piece was just that perfect time where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be an adult. I'm about to embark on a journey that I might have to look back 10 years, 20 years from now, and either...
Right, sort of like your coming of age moment, right?
Exactly, and it's like, who knows what 10, 20 years will be like for me, and if I don't start something now, then I you know, like that, it had that feeling, and like, yeah, there's college, but I wanted to feel more free, like more liberating. And One Piece legit taught me that. Like, if there's one thing One Piece taught me the most, it's follow your dreams. Like, don't let anybody tell you what you shouldn't do. If they tell you not to pursue your dreams, then you could just tell them to fuck off, because I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pursue my dreams. And that's why people like watching One Piece, because from the moment Luffy says he wants to be king of the pirates, it's a fact. He will become king of the pirates. And if you tell him otherwise, he will beat your ass. And he has done that. He has proven to everybody time and time again that he is the king of the pirates. He is going to be the king of the pirates. He is going to take that mantle. And so that taught me that, look, if Luffy can think that way, clearly it's a fictional character, but the fact that he's able to think that way, shouldn't I be able to think that way too? And so I was like, you know what, I will be the best lawyer in the future. I will be the best this, that, or like, I'll be the best version of myself I'll ever be. And, you know, I make sure not to lose that every day. So,
Right.
yeah.
Aspirations like that give you like drive in life, which I honestly really appreciate it. And for me, it's that struggle of finding like the perfect balance of having that ambition and being realistic with it, but also having that ambition, you know?
Exactly. Because it's also another thing of dreaming, but there are empty dreams. And that is the most scariest feeling any person can have at any age. To have an empty dream.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And when you fulfill it, it's like, when you achieve that empty dream, you're just left wondering, like, was this really it? And that's like, just thinking about it alone, it's such a scary feeling. And I'm so glad that we can understand that feeling now instead of when we're older.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I wish I understood it when I was younger too, so I could like better plan out my path in life, but alas, what are you gonna tell a 10-year-old?
Yeah, in all honesty, the best years to prep is our 20s. Like, as soon as we turn 20, that's when adulthood is starting to like actually take a hold of you. That's when, like, oh shit, I'm actually an adult and I better start taking things seriously. Like, that's like
Yeah.
That's what is important. And you know, I love anime, I love games, I like all that stuff too. But life is just as good of a game as any, to be honest, as well.
Yeah, it's a scary game. Scary game with high risks, but I mean,
High risk, high rewards.
you're right there.
Yeah. But speaking of animes, go watch One Piece. If you haven't, do it. It's worth it.
Should I?
Yes.
The only reason that I haven't watched One Piece is because of the art style.
Really? The art? Well, I mean, I can't. Okay. Are you talking about the animation or the art style? Because I can agree with you on the animation, because sometimes the animation can be a little iffy. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just a little bit though.
But art style, you gotta elaborate, because that is One Piece has some of the most iconic and the most diverse of art style you can ever see in anime or manga history, period, aside from JoJo.
Understandable. Yeah, I think mostly it's just like little bits of animations I've seen. Obviously, I haven't watched or haven't seen a lot of it, but
yeah, no, you should definitely
it's just
give it
very...
a chance. It is worth watching. Like, it is definitely worth watching. But the same is said with other animes too. Like, I do call One Piece Goat Piece, because it is a goat, but it's not the
goat piece.
Yeah, but it's not the goat of goats like Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Code Geass, and Attack on Titan. I mean,
Oh yeah.
One Piece is a good anime, but if you want really good storytelling and things like that, like, because One Piece is a good anime because it does have a good story and it has a really, really, really ridiculously good world building. Like each and every arc is vastly different because you get to learn the culture, the arts, like the lifestyle of the people that live in each and every island. And that's what I love about One Piece. Like each island is different. But Attack on Titan, like you've seen Attack on Titan, right? Because I will spoil it right now. If you haven't, I will do it.
Oh no, don't even worry. Like a lot of my friends really are really into Attack on Titan, and they've been simping for Eren since the last season. So I've heard it all.
Okay, all right, yeah. From the first 3 seasons, you had no idea about the world building, and then all of a sudden, it just everything is thrown at you. Afterwards, like towards the end of the 3rd season, you're just like, there's more. I thought this was actually the rest of humanity, but turns out you're just an island. And so, like, when it comes to that world building, it was like a shocking one, because it's like, oh, so this isn't the world. This is just an island. And then when you start learning about like the Titans and why they actually showed up, it's like, oh, so realistically speaking, they were killing their own kind. And you're like, well, shit, this just turned dark real quick. I don't know. Like,
Damn.
So
being farmed?
Yeah, basically. And it was just, Attack on Titan is incredible. It is incredible, but obviously nobody will be able to defeat the undefeated champion that is Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. That will forever be the GOAT of GOATs. Everybody instinctively agrees that Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood will always be the quintessential GOAT anime. Like that.
As it should. Oh my goodness.
GOAT.
I've seen clips. Yesterday I was watching one of those clips from Fullmetal Alchemist, and I'm just like, damn, I need to get back on this shit. Because I only watched, or actually, I read it, but like, not like the manga form. It was the novel form. And it was only because I found it on like a bookshelf when I was in middle school. Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Like someone had taken the manga form of Fullmetal and they condensed it into like a novel form. And I was like, what? I have never seen this before. And so I picked it up and I started reading it.
Yeah, no, you go.
Yeah, that was weird. It was weird, but
no, you are missing out on a lot, Miss Sandy. You really, really are. But like you said, you're a very busy person, so it's very understandable. 2 jobs? Yeah. Damn, I can't do more than like,
it's just jobs that I can fill in. Because I'm taking 5 classes right now, and I kid you not, I have had like 3 essays due in 1 week, a speech, and a video presentation at any given point in time.
Just that?
What do you mean just that? It's a lot for me. Especially when my professors are super strict and they dock off points for extremely small things.
Well, which college do you go to?
Like, in my state? It's not like a university or a Cal State or anything.
Really? It's not?
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to take the SAT, so I got stuck with community college.
Oh, well, it's something, so it's fine.
That goes into deeper things, but I will not be explaining that right now.
Yeah, no. If it's deeper, that means it's personal. If it's personal, then you don't have to share it because it's personal. That's the way I live my life. If I don't ask you, if I don't ask you like a direct question where it's like, okay, but this is that, obviously in private, then I don't care about, what, like the type of person that I am is basically like, I don't care how you live your life or what you do with your life and things like that, but just don't be an ass in front of me. Just don't be disrespectful to me, like that type of thing. So like, I don't pry into people's personal lives unless like I actually ask, or if I'm like, oh, are you okay, and like things like that, and then but for me to be like, oh, but why are things so, like, no, I'm not Keemstar. Why would I do that?
You're not Keemstar. Oh, no, my goodness.
I'm not gonna do that to a person, because it's disrespectful it's disrespectful of me to ask you that, to have the audacity to ask you that, and then it's disrespectful to you because you're like, you have the audacity to ask me that. So it's like, no, unless it's with
on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Yeah, unless it's with proper reasoning that I ask you something like that, then obviously, but I don't.
Well, you're good. You seem pretty laid back.
Yeah, I'm laid back when I'm laid back most of the time, but when I have to be serious, I have to be serious. That's just how I was raised, more or less. Because it makes sense. Like, why be so pretentious and be like, oh, I'm better than everybody else? Fuck off. No. Like, and why should I obviously not take care of myself? Like that type of thing. Because like, if there's one thing I noticed about our generation is that we like to reflect our actions based on the input of others, if you understand what I'm saying.
Like caring about what other people think to a degree?
Basically, like, it is important to take into consideration what people may think, but if it's something harmless and it's something that makes you, then by all means, like, who cares what people say, Obviously, if you want to improve yourself, there are people that can help you with that. You can improve yourself, like, you want to work out, then you have to do it. We can't tell you to do it. That has to come from within. Like, if you want to improve yourself, then, but no, I think our generation expects other people to tell us that we're already good enough, rather than like, I'm good now, but can I be better?
Yeah, I think that's what I struggle with a lot, is having to constantly take into account what other people are saying. And like, I don't know, sometimes I just need to sit back and just not think about that so often.
Yeah,
or not focus on it so much. Sometimes
you just gotta filter out the wording and the phrasing, because there are good in what people say. Like, unless it's like blatant racist, it's whatever it is. If there's actual proper criticism being placed, despite the harshest of words that they'll put, then you just gotta filter out the bad and see what's in the good. So, like, as someone, like, for us, because we're content creators, we have to see that every day. Like, a comment section where it's like in the comment section for me, they'll be like, oh, but why didn't you do that, blah blah blah, like, you suck, and I'll look at it and be, I'll laugh at it, and I'll just say, well, thank you for your time, I'll consider the feedback, and I'll let you know when the time's right. And that.
Oh man. Sometimes those hate comments are really out of pocket, though. Sometimes it's just, ugh.
Yeah.
Why would you say this? Yeah, please go outside and touch grass.
Yeah. I gotta do a video of that just to make fun of Twitter. So there's something called grass. You know what grass does? It does this. You can't even do. I will legit do a video on YouTube and just do a skit on that.
Well, scared of hate comments?
Of just like, hey, there's something called grass. You should check it out.
Oh. Yes.
It'd be pretty
yeah.
fun.
Much of these hate comments are like half for attention and half because they have issues. But man, most of it's for attention.
Yeah, that's just what it is. They just want to get you and just try to bring you down, but most of the time, just show them the finger. Like, legit, just
Right.
type the finger. And just, like...
Type the finger.
Yeah. And just, like, get on with the day. Because it's, like... That's also another thing where... like, we get so... We're so used to look at the bad. You know? Like... We're so used to seeing the negative of things that when there's actually positive stuff going on in our lives, we're just like, that's just coincidence. I just got lucky. I'm like, no, it's literally right there in front of you. It's been there the entire time.
Very much so. And I understand in certain situations when you're like really depressed, it becomes increasingly hard to see the good, because all you're thinking of is the bad, and it's hard to remind yourself that it's there. The good.
Yeah. And that's another problem I feel our generation have, because we're not only desensitized to things, but because we're so desensitized to things, we lose a lack of self-importance and self-confidence. Because we immediately go... Like, if there's one thing I've seen and noticed from many people, whether it's on Twitter, social media, things like that, they immediately self-deprecate themselves.
Oh yeah, it's a really popular form of humor.
Right, if done in moderation, but...
Right.
If you're constantly belittling yourself, then it's like, well, damn, you know, like...
Right? Are you good?
Yeah, like...
Do you need some help?
Are you okay?
Do you want to talk?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you should always love yourself first. And that ties into the idea that we want to look good towards others. We want to appear good, because when we appear good, we'll get validation. And it's like, no, you should be doing good regardless of who sees you.
You should be doing good for you.
Exactly.
Yourself. That's got to be your number one, man. That's got to be your priority.
Right, exactly. And that's the problem we have. And I just don't like it. And I'm like, no, this is bad. No, shoot.
Yeah.
Go away.
Especially with everything everywhere right now, it feels like you're surrounded by all this bad. You gotta give yourself a little bit of good.
Yeah, and there's also the thing where, like, especially in the circumstances of today, where you're like, you were so good, something really good happened to you, you're so blessed, and all of a sudden someone wants to remind you of the harsh realities of the world, and you're just like, what the fuck, man? I'm just here chilling. like
I'm just vibing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they just want to push you down for no reason. It's like, oh, but have you seen what's going on in the world? All of this? And I'm like, yes, obviously. But that's the world.
Yeah.
That's the world. You think I can control the world? No, I'm not God. I can just focus on the things I can control. Whatever goes on into the world, it's not because of me. I'm having a good time. I don't care what you say. I had a good time, and that's it. Despite the circumstances of today, we need more good. We're trying to get rid of the bad now, and you want more bad? It's like, come on.
Yeah, man, we gotta learn how to celebrate the little wins.
Exactly. But, it is what it is. All I know is that you got a lot of homework to do, Sandy. You got a lot.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm. You got
a lot of homework. I have another essay due in 2 days. 2 days.
Well, what kind of essay?
I just finished one last week. This is a literary essay, I believe, on the book for my lit class called The Hate You Give, and analyzing the rhetoric and literary devices inside of this book. It's actually, not surprisingly, it's a really good book. It's a really good book.
The Hate You Give. I think I heard about it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it got turned into a movie, I think, in like 2018 or 2017.
But I'll check it out.
But I really like it. And poems. I didn't realize how much I liked poems until I had to read them for class.
Yeah, poems are good. Not the Shakespeare
Yeah.
ones.
No. Well, yeah. Yeah. I like the modern ones more. Like this one. This one's good.
Yeah. What I mean by like I don't like Shakespeare, it's like the format of it. I don't know if you had to write like sonnets in high school.
Oh my goodness. In middle school and high school, writing sonnets.
I hated writing those because like the rhythm of it and like you have to
have the limericks.
Exactly. I'm just like, no, just let me write a poem. Fuck.
Right, freestyle, man.
Exactly. Let me be creative. But I was never much of a poem guy. I liked writing stories. I especially like writing essays now. For some reason, excuse me there.
Understandable. Essays were never my forte, unless it is the creative writing kind, because you can just bust out an entire, 8 pages talking about the backstory of your D&D character, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, basically, like... What I like
Do you
about
play D&D?
No.
Oh.
No, I don't. No.
You don't? Have you ever tried?
I mean, no. I just never had a interest in it, to be honest.
Understandable.
Like, I like the idea of it, but I would rather just play an RPG game any day.
Yeah, I think you just gotta play with the right people. Because my first time, I cried, I broke down, had a panic attack right there, had to leave call, and was like, you know what, I'm never playing D&D again. And then my old friends are like, hey, you want to make OCs? And I was like, make OCs? Oh boy!
Yes, yeah.
And then
they knew how to bring you back. Because once you want to create your own character, it's just like... I remember I wrote a novel back in my early... Like, when I was like... This was 2 years ago. I wrote a novel. And I self-published it with Barnes & Nobles. But then I removed it because I was like...
Really?
Nah, screw this. And I've been thinking
Why?
Well, because, like, I didn't really have an audience compared to now. So it was really major hard work. And then it's like... It just didn't feel good. It felt incomplete. And then I started watching One Piece, and I'm like, oh, I better start taking notes. That's basically what happened. I do hope to bring back the novel, but that's for me to deal with in the future. So
yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I know a lot of writer friends. She still hasn't published her novel yet, like as in like a physical form, but she writes a lot.
Yeah, I also have a friend that, well, more of an acquaintance because we spoke and then we stopped speaking. So, but I remember she wanted to write a story, or she wrote a story and she doesn't have it published. And, well, I wanted to read it. I never got the chance to read it. Everybody else I knew read it, and I'm just like, well, I see how this is gonna go. I see. Okay, now I understand the situation here. All right, I see how it is. Like, I just like, okay, I see how it is.
That's understandable.
Yeah. By the way, to whoever, if this person somehow, stumble upon this podcast and they know what they're talking about, you should have let me read it. You should have let me read it. I'm just saying it right there and then. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, yeah. I do hope that person has success because I remember when we were talking about it. That I was gonna say something.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I thought Discord did the thing again.
No,
Sorry.
no.
It's just that for some reason, when I'm on call, it'll like cut out and then I won't be able to hear anything. And I don't think they're able to hear me either, or maybe they are. I don't know. Anyways, I would have to like leave and come back. And that happens so frequently.
Oh, it's fine. You're still here.
Okay, that's good.
I was gonna say that I honestly forgot my train of thought. Point is, for those that want to write novels, go ahead and write novels. You guys, if
Do
you're really
it.
passionate, do it. Just do it.
Do it. What's stopping you?
Exactly.
Who's stopping you? Kevin? Kevin? Fuck Kevin.
Who's
He doesn't
Kevin?
know shit. I'm sorry.
Who the fuck is
For
Kevin?
people named Kevin out there. It's just a default name I use for insulting people.
It's just a default name.
Except you, good Kevins. Good Kevins. You're fine.
It's just a default.
This is not for you.
Default skin Kevin. Okay, anyway. Yo. No, but, yeah. It looks like it's time.
It is time.
It is time. Wow. Can't believe it.
It is time. Thanks for inviting me.
This was fun.
Yeah.
You know?
It was intense
Yeah.
when I got slammed for saying XIV, but you know, we lose and we lose.
Yeah, we take some L's every now and then, but we don't let it get to us.
Yes. If we've learned anything from today.
But any last words you want to say before I finish things off? Anything?
No.
No, nothing.
Not that I can think of. Drink your water. If you've been thinking about auditioning for that one thing, you should. What are you gonna lose? You got nothing to lose. Follow your dreams, but also keep it realistic, but also follow your dreams. Like if you want to be an astronaut, please be aware that you're gonna have to go through a lot of fucking physics. And I hate physics. But yeah.
Alright, that's it. My turn. Keep doing what you gotta do. Keep having fun with the things that you're already doing. Keep improving on the things that you know are gonna make you have fun and enjoy life. Enjoy life. Go play Nier.
I will play Nier. Oh my goodness. I think it's on sale right now.
Yeah.
Actually, let me go check.
And just remember to have fun. And that I know that I love you guys always to 120. If you haven't noticed, the cards as usual of certain videos must have popped up. And if you stayed this far, well, obviously go subscribe now. So go like, comment, and subscribe all the other videos. And I hope to see you all in next week's set of videos. So see you guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.